Hey everyone, I think this is day 6 update. We've started putting wiring back in, so we've got all the wiring loom is, body wiring loom at least, is sitting roughly in place. We've started sort of roughing it into where it needs to go, and then I'll make it all neat and tidy. The biggest issue that I had identified, and I had a feeling it was going to happen anyway, was that the wiring looms that I got to do this, so the body loom and the chassis loom that I have to do this swap, neither of them are from cars that have the electronic rear diff, whereas my car does have it. So I have had to dismantle the loom out of my car, remove the loom that operates the electric diff, and splice it in. So I can, pretty much what I've been doing here. So there's actually 3 components to the wiring loom that provides the diff. So the module sits up here on the D pillar on the passenger side, and there's 3 plugs which are there. One of those is a completely self-contained loom. I think it's the black one anyway, which then runs down to its own separate plug, and then the other 2, one is just CAN bus. So I've found a feed up here. I traced the CAN bus back to where it comes from and goes to. It turns out that the CAN bus line runs straight through here, and that plug on my loom was plugged into the body connected down the bottom, down in there, and then it runs through to the these modules here, to the CAN bus system, to these CAN bus lines here. So what I've done is, just instead of rewiring a whole lot, I've tapped into it, which is exactly the way it was set up on my car. And then there's a positive feed here that comes from the front of the car up there, and then also what appears to be the main power supply. It's quite a significant size cable there. I haven't actually checked to see what it is, and that runs to a connector at the front of the car that on these looms only had 3 pins, on mine had 4. So it's clearly one of the main supplies as well. So that has all now been connected in correctly. I'll show you the other ends of the plugs up here. So this is the connector that only had the 3 pins in it. So this one here's the 3rd one, and that pin was missing on this plug. So I've taken it out of mine, connected it in, and then on I think it's that plug actually. The positive that runs out of that, at the back of this one, runs through the loom all the way back through here and connects into your it's the plug that goes into the back of the terrain response unit, and there's a positive line that supplies that. And now it also runs, it comes down through this junction, heads back this way. And strangely enough, it came to a point here where there was just a terminated splice. It didn't actually have this wire coming out the other end of it. It was 2 wires came in, were spliced together and stopped there, which was the supply on my line, on my loom. It was the supply that actually ran to that plug. So I've just tapped into that as well, which is all the connections I need for the internal part of getting the diff to work. I need to get under the car and sort of see what I'm going to be connecting to under there yet, so that's going to be another day's job. That's probably the big thing today. I've also got the back doors. I think I mentioned on the first day that they were white. The leather on those was white, so around the door release and etc. was white. So I've repainted them with vinyl paint, and they're now black, and they're looking quite nice. So the 2 rear looms are in. These are the full Logic 7 looms. They need a really good clean, so I'm not too fussed about the dust and stuff on them. So the full Logic 7 looms in behind the doors now. Both the speakers are connected, They've got the rear seat entertainment connections there. And the front looms are also in, as you can see over there. I've still got a little bit of splicing to do on those, on that one and that one. So again, that will be in the coming week that we do that. That's really about it for progress at the moment. It probably doesn't look like much, but it does take a long time to do. Most of today was just sorting out, tidying up the little bits and pieces here, and then sorting out what I needed to do with the differential. That took quite a bit of tracing. So that's update for the moment. I'll give you another one soon. Thanks, bye.